Yep.
Okay. So, Kitty, why don't you start out?
Okay, I'm Kitty Butchko, and as Lou said, I'm from Sarnia, Ontario, but I'm in Anguilla for 5 months, and I am an associate member of the Rotary Club of Canada 1.
And Delwyn, please.
Good evening, all. Joining you, Delwyn here, joining you from snowy Chilliwack, British Columbia. We're having our 4th dump so far, and another few centimeters are beginning to fall. But very happy to be joining all of you, especially those from sunny climes like Barbados and Anguilla.
And Jeff?
I'm Jeff McFarlane. I'm in Okotoks, which is just south of Calgary.
And Ethan, where are you tonight?
I'm, excuse me, I'm in Inuvik.
Well, this is really neat. You're in Inuvik, and the opposite end of the world is Doug and Christchurch. So
I wonder if they want to switch, maybe.
I'm trying to go through the list here. Lou, introduce yourself again.
Lou Staziri, yes. I am from Sarnia, Ontario, but I am currently with my lovely partner Sue in Barbados. We rented a farmhouse on the edge of, on the east side of the island for 6 weeks, and
oh, wow.
It's been remarkably relaxing. You know, we go into where it's busy, and we bought some fresh caught fish today, saw a turtle, and that's why we come here. I mean, I love living in Sarnia because Sarnia in the summer is spectacular. We have a great lake there, Lake Huron, and Lake Huron is a freshwater inland sea, as Kitty knows.
Yep. Very well, thank you very much. We've got quite a few to introduce here. Move along to Janet.
There you go.
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, wonderful.
Okay, perfect. My name's Janet Stead. I am formerly from the Rotary Club of Washego in District 7010. We've moved to an island in Georgian Bay, so I've decided to join the E-Club. And we're down in Cuba, my husband and I, for 3 months. And I already knew Elly from here because I chaperoned a group of interactors down at Project Amigo a couple of years ago, which was a great experience. And it's nice to have a face that I recognize. And I'm looking forward to transferring into this club. I know that it's been delayed because of my internet issues, but I'm hoping now that they are solved.
Oh, it's wonderful. Bruce, please.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the celebration of our 6th anniversary. Shout out to Michael Richard Helmer here, who is here from Nanaimo, I see, a fellow British Columbian. Hello, Delwyn, a fellow British Columbian. I'm in Surrey, BC.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Sharon?
Hello, another British Columbian. I share the same city as Delwyn, and I'm looking out and I'm looking at a lot of snow, which we're not used to having in Chilliwack. So I'm glad to be part of this celebration.
Thank you very much. So, Michael Richard Helmer Keir, you come on. Are you muted?
I don't know.
No, you're fine. Just carry on.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of new to this technology. Can you hear me okay?
No, you're beautiful. Just give us a 30-second about yourself, please.
I was born in Calgary. I did my first year of high school in Vancouver, and I love the island. And I'm planning to take advantage. I've noticed your E-Club online, and I've noticed that I haven't applied to become a member yet, but I'd like to become a member, and I sometimes travel and work shifts, unfortunately. That's what's pretty appealing about your E-Club for me.
Okay, well, there's a application form on the bottom of the website, so if you fill that in, and that'll go off to Elly and Sharon, and I'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Do I need to get some seconders or some references? Or
when you see the application form, you'll see it all on there.
Okay.
Richard and Michael, and obviously you're known to Bruce, so that should stand you in good stead.
All right, thank you.
And now to the other end of the world, Doug Dyer.
Yeah, thank you, David. I'm Doug Dyer, charter member of the club, past president, resident nomad, full-time nomad. We are spending 5 months in New Zealand, which is just enjoying immensely. And from here, we go to Thailand, to a small island. So I'm happy to be here today.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Have I missed anybody? We'll catch the Mexico group in a few minutes. So we'll go back to you, Delvin, and you'll have an ode for the occasion.
We're ready. Well, indeed. How's my volume? Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. When I was asked to do the ode on the 6th anniversary, I had an interesting time deciding on how I would organize this. So I chose to do it by years of presidents and the Rotary themes that were in place for each of those presidents on the February anniversary as it came up each year. So I also sought input from the presidents as to what they thought was memorable in their years. So herewith, an ode on the 6th anniversary of the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1. For those of you who are interested in poetics, it's a Horatian ode with a rhyming scheme of A, B, A, B, B. So herewith the ode. Oh, great day it was when Elly was made captain. With peace through service then, not contrarian, but fine Rotarian, E-Club of Canada 1. Bruce next change, lives was changing and club direction. Dolly's dream engaging imagination. In great northern realm, E-Club of Canada 1. Doug lit up Rotary with innovation. RI President Wang with glee with plenty of nation joined our web meeting, E-Club of Canada 1. Jim, to the world a gift, a rock sensation, gave water fresh a lift, caused jubilation for Subarana, E-Club of Canada 1. The Yak humanity did serve, champion of Ryla and money for children Indian, schools in Arambag, E-Club of Canada 1. Lynn made a difference with youth education, so planting trees made sense. El Salvador's sun beneath, a start from E-Club of Canada 1. Now David, while longer the inspiration, DPIL booster, Fort Resolution to Aklavik proud, E-Club of Canada 1.
Nice.
Very good.
Wonderful. Oh, that's excellent. Welcome. Thank you very much indeed, Delvin. And I think, well, there we are. Can we go back now to Delvin? I believe you're going to introduce our honorary member, Anna.
Yes, I'm just bringing up an email here, and I think that Peter's got a picture. Peter has a picture of her to share. So for those of you who don't remember, Anna Soper is one of our honorary members. She is currently in the South Sudan, the new nation of South Sudan. Historically, she started off as a Chilliwack girl. She was my receptionist and factotum in my law office years ago. And one day she came to me and said that she was going to take a leave of absence to go and teach an orphanage in Ghana. And you could have knocked me over with a feather because she never said goose to a goose. She was very quiet. She hadn't ventured further than her family in Saskatchewan. And all of a sudden she was off to Ghana. and therewith started her career as an international, pretty much NGO worker, because she went back to back to Ghana twice more after that, each time doing more, building a computer lab for a school at one point with donations from myself and fellow Rotarians. She went and built toilets at the school. She ended up being put up for an ambassadorial scholarship and won it, and went and did a degree at the University of Accra in Ghana in foreign relations. And from there, she went on to join a branch of the United Nations, and she's currently an aid worker in the South Sudan. I said to her that we were having our 6th anniversary and people would really like the opportunity of hearing what she's up to. So she sent me this, and I have to tell you that I was very moved by it. I need to get this up for a moment here. Just bear with me. My computer is not playing ball. There we go. Now it is. All right. So I said, is there something I can share with the fellow Rotarians about what you're up to? Are you well and happy? And she said, I am well and happy. And here is something that you can read out. So I'm going to read this to you just raw as it came to me. She says, thank you for the opportunity of speaking to the club. I've been working on something, a personal life project, for the last few weeks and looking for an outlet to share it. I hope this is not too long. I think it reads like I'm not well or happy, but I can assure you that I really am. It started around Christmas. I kept asking myself, am I just a humanitarian, a Rotarian, between the hours of 8 and 6 when I'm at work? There are 2 million children out of school in South Sudan. About 25 of them live on the street about 100 meters from my door. Andrew comes from the northern part of South Sudan, from a town about 1,000 kilometers from Juba. He lost half his family during the war in 2013 and the rest during the war in 2016. He has been living on the harsh Juba streets ever since. Andrew is 9. He would like to be a pilot. I didn't ask him, but I wonder if it has anything to do with the 1,000-kilometer trek by foot he made at around 5 years of age. James, 18, comes from Malakal, the second largest city in South Sudan, and the location of many battles since the 80s. He used to be in a boarding school in Kenya, but was sent back to Juba at some point in his secondary school career because his family couldn't afford to keep him there. He also lost his family in the wars of 2013 and 16. He says he drinks because he's been abandoned and wants to forget that he has no mother to care about him. Instead of being cared for, he's one of the leaders of this gang of street kids ranging from 4 to 18. I started out buying them fruit and bread every couple of days. I realized I was changing nothing, so I stepped it up to an evening meal. One night a week, a few weeks ago, while we were having our meal, someone came running into the restaurant to say a boy had been hit by a car and we should go and check if it was one of our group. It wasn't, but a 7-year-old boy was still killed that night, reminding me of just how critical it is for me to get these boys off the street. After weeks of searching, I finally found a place that could be ready for them this month. Once they have a roof over their heads, I'm going to start delivering other types of support to them. Yes, they need food, deworming, and showers, but perhaps even more, they need trauma healing and psychosocial support. My short-term goal is to get them in school by the next term, which starts in June. It's a big mountain to climb, though, because many of them are addicted to sniffing gas and drinking, and some have never been in school. But what is the future of South Sudan, or any country for that matter, if the next generation can't read or write? I'm just trying to use my privilege to support that. So I wrote back to Anna and said, I've been digesting your story. Is there something tangible that I or the club can do to assist with this life project? If so, please suggest some things. And that's when she sent the photograph that's being shared. And she says, I'm working on a full plan for them, and I will let you know how you and others might support this once it's done. The main issue I'm trying to sort out is to get permissions from the government. In a still militarized environment, they always fear groups of boys are being trained for something. In other news, I've met with the Juba Rotarians, that's who she's standing with, and they're having a fundraising breakfast later this month that I'm helping with. Here's a photo of us at the Juba Orphanage Christmas party. I'm also hoping that they will help me with my project. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the report from Anna. As you can see, she's someone that we can be immensely proud to count as one of our own.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, Delvin. That's really great that she's doing well. You said she looks diminutive beside those big fellows, but a tremendous job she's doing. Thank you. Now I have a nice opportunity to carry out here. We have a presentation. The club, the board of directors, has, there was a request for some funding, and the board of the directors have approved it. And I am happy to say that we have a check to present to the for Project Amigo. Can we see Peter's holding up the check? And it's going to be received in Mexico by Elly. Are you there, Elly? Hello, Elly.
Yeah, I'm here. Where's the check?
You received the check already?
Look, I got it.
Oh, got this instance up. It's just magic.
Wow.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Wow. For the bus. I was going to talk about that later, but
Oh.
wow.
Well,
Thank you. $1,000.
And we should say this is for the bus to help you get a new bus. I'm sorry, I should have said that.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, you're going to talk about that. Well, I'll pass it over to you, and you can introduce your guests, and some of them I recognize there.
Okay, well, I am also a fellow BCer. As soon as the snow is gone, I'm a BCer, and right now I'm in Manzanillo, and I would like each of the people very carefully, not knocking over wine glasses, to come and introduce themselves.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Judy Brown. I am a member of the E-Club Canada 1, and we're all here with Elly and Ramiro, and
ready to do our presentation.
Yeah, ready to do our presentation.
Jim, I can't move it.
Hi everybody, it's Jim Ferguson from Skeleton Lake, a member of the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1, coming to you from Mexico as well.
What's happening there?
Hi, everybody. Mary Drader, charter member of the Drayton Valley Rotary Club, Alberta.
Oh, yes.
And I'm Terry Drader, District Governor of 5370 and 0910.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Peter and Denoise. Ross Tyson, Rotary Club of Edmonton Northeast, with my beautiful wife, Brenda, also a member of Edmonton Northeast, District Governor 2008-2009.
I want to tell Peter that I've been in the parking lot all night.
Eddie.
Should we ask what that's about, Peter?
I know.
Hi, I'm Betty Skripnik, District Governor 2013-14, and I've been online before with all of you, and so lovely to be here in Manzanillo and on Project Amigo, and I have my husband George with me.
I'm George. I'm not a Rotarian.
Don't say that.
But I'm a gopher and a chauffeur. And I pour the wine.
Future First Lady.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Ferguson, of course, Jim's wife, and I'm from the Rotary Club of Athabasca, and really proud to have been here this past week to partake in the Project Amigo. It was just absolutely amazing.
Hi, everybody. Oh, wow.
Don't knock over the wine.
Ron Brown, actually, I'm known as Judy's husband, and living in this beautiful part of the world for about 6 months a year, and enjoying the beautiful camaraderie of these wonderful E-Club/Rotarians. It's a fantastic place to be.
Last but not least,
I am the most beautiful of all. I'm Elly's husband.
and you're a member of?
Rotary Club of Osoyoos, British Columbia.
Okay. Now, if we could have Peter pull up the PowerPoint, if he is technical, if he gets that to work, or if he's gone. Is he gone, Peter?
No, he's there.
Okay.
You're muted, Peter.
Oh, he's going to bring up the PowerPoint.
Okay.
One moment, please. There we are. Okay. Well, many of you have already heard about Project Amigo, and this project has served many communities throughout the state of Colima, Mexico, for well over 35 years. Our main focus is education, but we do include literacy, dental hygiene, and health, which kind of indirectly is related. Many parents in the indigenous culture, and this is where I'm kind of hoping that Peter would have the cue to go to the next slide. Do I need to say that?
Next slide, please. Hello, Peter.
Peter, are you awake?
Next slide. Click.
Click.
Tell him to
Click.
put the wine down.
Peter,
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
you want to go to the next slide, please? Frozen.
Yeah.
Stop the recording. Okay, we'll just keep going then. But I would want you to see the pictures with it. Yes, there we go. Many parents in the indigenous culture still believe that all boys should work in the field and all girls should stay home to take care of their younger siblings. However, those who have children enrolled in our program, which you would see on the next program, on the next slide, will understand that the value of having the children finish school and obtain a meaningful career, whether it's college, university, or have a degree or a trade. At Project Amigo, on the next slide, we serve well over 500 students in various communities, from preschool to university. And I think there may be a little bit of a delay with Peter moving the slides because it's not moving as we had hoped. As of today, we have had more than 77 students graduate with a degree in law, accounting, civil engineering, nursing, medicine, architecture, and more. Even 2 of our students became the mayor of their village. We have 3 active boards. We have one in Mexico, one in the United States, and one in Canada. And Judy Brown is currently a member of the Canadian board. And myself, I am the liaison between Canada and Mexico. Our mission is to empower more children and encourage them to get an education so they can help themselves and their families out of poverty. Our headquarters is in Cofradía de Suchitlan, which is just a short 2-hour drive from Manzanillo. We have an office and student housing in Colima, near the university, and also various study centers throughout the state. there's a lot involved in managing and guiding the 500 students. We have approximately 25 staff members, varying from legal staff to accounting, student services, maintenance, housekeeping, financial support, and the financial support, which comes from the general donations and from sponsorships. Past district governor and longtime supporter of Project Amigo, Judy Brown, will now tell you a bit more about the various levels of sponsorships and the work that we do at the migrant camps. Judy. So you have to tell people when to push the slide.
So there are 3 levels of sponsorship. The first level is the primary school incentive program, and it's $100 US per year.
Next slide.
Next slide. Okay. Gives the child the tools needed to succeed: shoes, clothing, educational services, and enrichment activities. It encourages learners to complete primary school. The second level is the junior high and high school scholarships. They're $600 US a year. Young people who graduate high school enjoy better outcomes in health, relationships, and financial well-being. What stands in the way of a high school diploma? The ability to pay for schooling. Sponsorships remove the barriers to education: bus money, books, school supplies, uniforms, a hot lunch, and weekly support through the homework club. This sponsorship gives a young person the best chance possible to graduate with a career goal and the planning and leadership skills needed to achieve it. The third level is the college sponsorships, $4,000 US a year. Students who complete high school are eligible for a university technical college scholarship and the chance to achieve their dreams of a career. Sponsorships cover tuition, textbooks, supplies, a laptop computer, and room and board at Casa Amiga. Next slide. I've been involved with Project Amigo for many years. Over the years, I've always sponsored students, primary school, middle school, and high school. Some students for 3 to 4 years, and one young fellow from grade 4 to grade 12. Because we come to Project Amigo pretty well every year, we get a chance to visit with our students and see them grow and progress. Ron's Rotary Club, Edmonton Strathcona, sponsors 2 students. In this slide, you see Yoselin, and she's in grade 10. Carla is in grade 11, and you'll see a photo of her in a moment. Next slide. Ross and Brenda's club, Edmonton Northeast, sponsors Meshe, and she is in university taking nursing. Next slide. Ron and I currently sponsor a young lady. Let me get the slide up. Marlon, she's on the left next to Ron. And beside her is Carla, and on the right is Laura, the student that's sponsored by this E-Club. Yeah. Laura is in the 3rd year of high school, and she's almost 17 years old. She plans to become an engineer. This is the 4th year of sponsorship by the E-Club. Next slide. Ron and I have sponsored our girl, Marlon, since she was 12 years old, and she's now 16. Marlon lives with her grandparents. Her parents both died when she was just a little girl, and with her 2 older brothers. It's very rewarding and heartwarming to know that we are making a big difference in the futures of these wonderful young people. It's nice to receive email letters from them every month, and especially being able to visit with them when we are at Project Amigo. Next slide. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the migrant workers camp. Another heartwarming experience is seeing the beautiful children at the migrant workers camp. We had the opportunity to take the whole class of kindergarten children on a field trip to a park and lake. They had such a great time, but I don't know who enjoyed it more, the kids or the volunteers. Although they live in what we, next slide, in what we would consider terrible conditions, they all seem very happy. That is the migrant workers camp and where they live. Next slide. Next slide. A little bit of a delay. Yeah, a bit of a delay. This little store was set up by one of the enterprising residents. Next slide. And this is the lady that set up that little store. One of the things that we did was deliver food bags to families of Project Amigo students, which they were very happy to receive. I'm going to turn you over back to Elly now. That's my portion.
Thank you, Judy.
No.
We now like to show a little bit of a video about one of our students and what it means to them. So hopefully, take no. Peter says no. Peter is shaking his head. Okay, why don't I can try that. I can try it if I can reduce this for a moment. Oh, that's okay. Keep talking. Keep talking while I'm doing this. I need to get. Just keep talking and I will pull up the video and share my screen.
I know.
Nobody's talking. I was hoping somebody would be talking.
Well, I'll tell you that was a very interesting presentation for those of us who don't know about Project Amigo. So thank you very much. And
But we're not done yet.
We're not finished yet.
Oh, I understand. I understand, but I'm talking. I'm just giving you.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Hola, mi nombre es Vanessa Guadalupe Chávez. Proyecto Amigo en el año 2011, cuando iba a iniciar el bachillerato. Me hice una solicitud, pero no pensé que fuera a ser seleccionada. Días antes de que entrara al bachillerato, no recibía todavía la noticia. Y desde que me mandaron a mí, y me dijeron que pues ya formaba parte de. Me dio mucho gusto, porque a mí me emocionaba mucho seguir estudiando, pero pues bueno, pues no tenía mucho dinero, pero ahorita siempre he tenido el sueño de que yo pues logre mis sueños, es lo que más quería. Entonces, pues ellos también me dieron la noticia y nos tienen muy agradecidos y muy emocionados. Y desde pues ese día, formé parte de este equipo, de este proyecto. Y pues, en mi familia, no ha habido una persona que tenga un nivel de estudio más elevado, más que la secundaria o primaria. Y en mi familia, mi mamá y mis padres sí me apoyan siempre para seguir adelante. Pero hay otras personas que dicen que pues, a veces una mujer no puede salir adelante o no puede tener una carrera profesional, pero yo quiero demostrar que sí se puede y que podemos llegar a ser pues algo más de la vida y tener una mejor vida que la que nuestros padres con tanto esfuerzo nos dan. Y pues así, si uno ya tiene los estudios más elevados, ya puede tener una mejor vida y ayudar a sus padres y a mis hermanos también, porque tengo que ser algunos que también quisieran que lograran sus sueños y que llegaran a ser unos grandes profesionistas. Mis familiares agradecen mucho la oportunidad que el proyecto Amigo me dio y se sienten muy orgullosos de que yo haya decidido y tomar el camino de seguir estudiando, porque Ellos saben que una persona preparada llega a tener más logros y una mejor vida. Por ejemplo, yo conmigo no tendría palabras para describirlo porque es algo maravilloso. Es, no sé, me siento muy feliz de formar parte de ellos. Y quisiera que esto siguiera para un proyecto mío nuestro. No tengo palabras para describirlo. Gracias por invitarme.
How did you get back to Peter's slides?
Okay, yeah, I hope that we can get back to the PowerPoint, Peter, and we'll do the next part. Starts, yes, we're on track. We're all good.
Did they hear it?
Coming in.
Did they hear it? Or did they get the subtitles?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. So every year we invite volunteers to help us distribute books to numerous hands-on activities, and then help the volunteers understand the challenges we face in this culture, in particular, the indigenous culture. And you see some of the past district governors there, and Judy was one of the frequent volunteers at Project Amigo, and she also joined us this past week, together with 8 district governors from 5370 and their spouses. And our own E-Club member, Jim Ferguson, of course, was part of this as an incoming governor, and he will tell you about his experience. District Governor nominee, Jim Ferguson. It's all yours.
Gracias, Jim. Good job.
Hello, everybody. Next slide, please, Peter. So I had the honor to join the past district governors this last week in Project Amigo. And so I wanted to put together a little presentation, tell you what about my experience there. So we left the deep freeze that is Alberta and met up with the excited Edmonton group at the airport. Next slide, please.
What was the temperature, Jimmy?
Minus 42 degrees Celsius when the picture was.
Warmer days.
So we were picked up at the hot and humid Manzanillo Airport by Project Amigo staff member Diego, Elly's husband Ramiro, and after arriving in Cofradia, dropped our suitcases off at one of Project Amigo's houses on the top left-hand side. Casa Mayhew, and were briefed by Elly and Alma, the volunteer coordinator. Next slide, please. So after a delicious breakfast, we walked through picturesque Cofradia to bond with the governor's group at Temazcal, a traditional sweat lodge. Next slide, please. So Alma scheduled a guacamole and salsa cooking class at a cozy little restaurant close by where Rotary Fellowship was enjoying the food that we had prepared. Next slide, please.
Hello.
We had all brought a huge amount of donations back from Canada, and we worked in the courtyard of Project Amigo to sort through the donations. That night, we had a visit from members of the Coquitlam Rotary Club and some Project Amigo students, where new friendships were made. Next slide, please. The 30-year-old Project Amigo bus drove us to La Campagna architectural site, where only 1% of the ruins have been excavated. It's a huge site. Next, we witnessed the Cabalgata, where beautiful Spanish horses and cowboys paraded by. Next slide, please. In the early morning, we had a short walk to the Cofradia School, where we were shown the excellent computer lab supported by a Rotary Global Grant. Next slide, please. Our hardworking but fun-loving group of governors prepared about 40 food packages of rice, beans, sugar, and cucumbers to be given out to needy Project Amigo students' families. Next slide, please. Next slide, Peter. Thanks. Our next stop is Casa Amiga in Colima, the student housing for university students from the country. We reviewed the impressive wall of Project Amigo grads, the offices whose walls have hundreds of supporting Rotary Club banners, and met Laura, a blind student. Without Project Amigo's help, her future was grim. Taunted and bullied in school, Project Amigo took her in as a student, where she will receive a Braille machine through Rotary and generous donors, and will continue her studies into college. Next slide, please. During another school visit, we witnessed a young boy who received hearing aids through the GROW program. For the first time in his life, he could hear like a normal child, and this brought tears to our eyes to see his joy. We had brought new school books provided by Project Amigo, and were able to sit with the excited students and read together, even though the books were in Spanish. Next slide, please. After saying an emotional goodbye to the students, we had a fantastic lunch at Los Jamaicas and a chance to stroll the beach. And there's Ross and Brenda Tyson. Next slide. Next slide, please. So on day 5, we were taken to the migrant camp near Caseria, where we picked up some excited youngsters for a bus trip to the park on the old Project Amigo bus to take them on a picnic and give them some of our donated soccer balls and toys. These excited kids wearing the best clothes came from the most deplorable living conditions we've ever seen. Both children and Rotarians enjoyed pizza and salad, and even had the opportunity to zip line over the lake with the Colima volcano in the background. Unforgettable. Next slide, please. In the afternoon, we made a visit to the Project Amigo Study Center in Suchitan, where junior and high school students have the opportunity to complete their homework on the donated computers. A couple of the students walked our group through the streets and invited us in their home, where we presented a needed food bag to their family. Next slide, please. The last day of our work week, we traveled to San Jose del Carmen, where students, teachers, and parents of the elementary school welcomed us with open arms. They very much appreciated the school supplies that we brought to them. We also received a request from the principal for paint, so the next group of volunteers will be returning for a paint job. Next slide, please. We continue in the Project Amigo vans through the dry Mexican mountains to visit the Mexicol distillery, where the owner showed us the entire process from growing agave to fermenting and distilling it to a smooth mezcal. Amazing to see the real Mexico, the one that many people don't get a chance to see. Next slide, please. This volunteer week was truly a great way for the future governors to get to know the group of past district governors and bond with the Rotary Rascals. Next slide, please. So Rotary is about having fun, and Vince Vavrick, a Rotary president, was wearing a shirt that summed the experience up nicely. We came to Mexico on Project Amigo to do service work, but had a lot of fun in the same time. It was truly an amazing experience. Next slide, please. Thanks very much.
Good job, Jim. Nice job. Good. No.
So tonight you were able to see just a small part of what Project Amigo is all about, but Project Amigo in reality is about their needs, about these kids and their needs. But Project Amigo is also about us as Rotarians and our involvement, which should be on the next slide. Thank you. Yeah. You know, there's lots of opportunities to participate in Project Amigo, and I hope in the future that some of you will also join us. Now we have 3 of our members experienced one of the work weeks, and I'm sure that they're excited to talk to you about it. And if you want more information on the next slide, which I'm sure is on its way from Dominican Republic, you will see how to contact us. Yeah, this is basically what we're doing in Manzanillo for the vacationers and the expats and the snowbirds. We organize 2-day mini work week experiences, and they've been very successful. And the next one will take place on March 19 and March 20. More wine, please. It's been, I'm going to talk about, yes, I will invite some of the people. Just a minute. I want to talk about the bus because, just a minute. Everybody wants to talk. You know, the thing about past district governors, even though Ron is not a past district governor, they're like an old worn out shoe. Everything is worn out except their tongue. I am really excited. We started raising funds for this old bus during the Fiesta week. David is still laughing, and Sharon is laughing right beside him. Anyway, that bus really needed to be replaced because we got stuck somewhere. And we started raising funds during the Fiesta week. And little by little, we started to get closer to our $20,000 goal. And as of tonight, we have raised $16,500. Yeah. You didn't know that. I wanted to give that a surprise. And just via a chat message, I received another pledge. I don't know what the amount is, but the generous donor is sure going to tell me that they're going to send us a check of $1,000 to have their name on a full seat of the bench. Anyway, I'm just, no pressure. For $100, anybody can have a handprint with their name on it. For $500, they will have the name on a seat. And $1,000, the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1 will have their own bench. There will be a plaque on it that says Rotary E-Club of Canada 1. So Ron Brown would like to share with you a little bit about his experience. Ron.
Yes.
Oops. Don't do that. Okay.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Ron Brown, and you probably know me from the Rotary Club of Edmonton Strathcona. I have to tell you that I'm relatively new to Project Amigo, only having been introduced to it by Judy 7 years ago. I've had the opportunity of going to a number of what they call work weeks, which I find is quite peculiar because it's more of a fun week than a work week. And quite often we are, we're hosted by these wonderful people on a hacienda where they're treated with such kindness. We get to eat the finest meals probably in all of Mexico, stay in the most wonderful facilities, but at the same time we get to work with these wonderful kids. The warm kids, you almost want to grab a bunch of them, take them home with you. They're so cute. Anyway, what I've got to tell you is that this is a project that I'm, you don't think of it when you're in Canada or wherever in the United States as being a project that you should help on. But when you come here and see these beautiful children that really would have nothing if it wasn't for a project like this. And I know full well when we take out our little books, the books to the schools and the toothbrushes and go to the work camps and see those beautiful faces and have that wonderful look in their eye, I'll tell you, it just warms you to, you wouldn't believe. So honestly, they call, Elly calls it a work week, and they kind of call it that, but I think it's more of a fun work, an educational week, and it's one of the things that a person would love to do in this warm, friendly part of the world. So that's my 2 bits worth. I love it over here. My dear Judy is one that's introduced me to Project Amigo. And I'll tell you, it's an organization you feel so good to be part of.
Nice job. We gladly entertain questions from the audience. And I want to say something else. Of course, I get the last word, right? But always. Even though I have been involved since 2008, I'm very grateful to Doug Dyer, who at his end of his presidency in our club, suggested that we sponsor a student. And since then, our club has been supporting Project Amigo. So thank you, Doug. Yeah, if there's any questions or if you want to hear of some of the old, no. If you want to hear some of the worn out shoes. Yes, we'll be gladly to have somebody else say a little word about it.
I wouldn't mind saying something, if I may.
Please do.
Okay. I took a team of interactors.
Janet, you're muted somehow. Unmute yourself.
Unmute. Okay, there I am. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Still muted. No, she's not. No.
About
I'm gonna mute
7
myself.
years ago. Can you hear me? Okay.
Well, I can hear you.
About 7 years ago, I took a group of interactors on a dental work week to Project Amigo. And I'm a big fan of Project Amigo for a number of reasons, but one of which is I think it's a really good opportunity to take young people on a work week so that they can see what other people live like and give them a sense of community service. I know it affected my group greatly. I also sponsor a young girl, Brisna, and I would also, if Elly wanted to send me some documentation, I would be happy to speak to some of the clubs in District 7010 about, I think having a club sponsor a child is a really great idea. So I would be happy to speak to some clubs on behalf of Project Amigo.
Thank you very much, Janet. Did you catch that, Elly? No, Elly's muted. I could hear you just fine. I assume everybody else could, Janet.
Okay.
Elly?
I'm done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Janet.
I will listen to the recording from Janet. My
Hello.
technical support turned down the volume. I think he heard enough district governors.
Well, Janet was saying that maybe you can find some sponsors in 7101. I think you said, Janet.
7010.
7010.
Yep.
To assist to support your project there, Elly.
Mhm.
Are there anybody else got any questions for Elly about Project Amigo?
I have a question about the bench that is going to be donated from the club. Are you looking for donations and from individuals for that? And what is the timeline? Okay. So you've got that right there. Okay.
This is the club. So if you want to have your name on the handprint on the bus, you can donate $100. Or if you would like to have your own seat on the bus, you can make a donation of $500 Canadian.
Or 1,000.
Or 1,000 for an entire bench. Yes. Or you can sponsor a student, of course. And then you come down from Aguila to Colima.
And how much is a student now, Elly, please?
Primary school is $135 Canadian for the whole year. That's a cup of coffee a week. And junior high and high school is $7.95. And then you go to university, and then you're looking at 4,000.
5,000 Canadian. But you can have multiple sponsors.
But yeah, you can have more people sponsoring, co-sponsoring.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that in the future we will be able to continue sponsoring Laura. And but you know, in some cases, sponsors will have co-sponsors.
Wonderful. Yeah. Just see, I think Jeff has his outgoing exchange student alongside him now.
Yeah, they can come down for a work week, for a volunteer fun week. Fun.
Funky week. It's
Fun.
a fun work week.
Fun work. There you go.
Yeah. There's no fun here.
Strictly work.
Jeff, can you say a moment there? Hello, Jeff? We're not getting any sound from Jeff.
To Earth, Jeff to Earth.
Yeah. Hello? Can you hear us now, Jeff? No. We're losing sound somewhere tonight. Somebody else, this technical person got to his as well as yours, Elly. Shut you off. I'll just ask, are there any more questions for Elly?
Not all at the same time.
Not all at the same time. Well, it's a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much indeed for what a, gosh, such an august group that we're amongst tonight. Well, there's so many, as Delwyn made a remark about so many past district governors all in one room.
A lot of tongues.
Yeah, a lot of tongues.
All the tongues.
We should say happy anniversary.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we did have a toast here.
Everybody should have happy anniversary.
Yes. And Doug's waving from Christchurch.
Happy anniversary. I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Goodbye.
Okay, thanks for coming, Luke.
Happy anniversary. Fun.
Okay, thanks very much. Yeah, some people have gone off to dinner.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jen. Yeah.